listening to the Palmetto Dugout Show, hosted by State Director Sammy Esposito, Associate Scouts Drew Stewart and Sean Smith, that discuss all things related to amateur baseball in South Carolina. Here are your hosts.
Welcome into another high school preview show. This time, Coach Corn at Mauldin. What's going on, Coach?
What's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
We're fired up to get you on here. We'll kind of, let's hop right into it here. I'll start us off here talking about last year, which you knew here, but talk about some guys that were lost coming into this year.
Yeah, so, obviously I inherited I inherited a lot of underclassmen, to be honest. Well, this year I'll be older, but only lost 4 guys from last year in Miles Welch, Carson Mirabelli, Kyler Shelton, and Jackson Vickers. And then, 2 of those guys went to Erskine to play. But pretty young, inherited a lot. Very grateful to inherit what I inherited. But we will be a very older group this year. But going off last year, they went 13 and 15, I believe. Beat River Bluff in the first round, and then ended up losing, I believe, to either Bowling Springs or Dorman 1 to lose out. So, inheriting a lot of guys that got some postseason experience under their belt. So, excited.
Now, we were lucky enough to kind of get a little bit of sneak preview of your guys at the high school scout day, something that was new for us here with the scout day scene, in the past and continuing on, but we've historically have done them with some travel ball organizations. And this year we've been lucky enough to do some high school scout days, and you had reached out and we're interested in trying to get something on board, and we were able to come up there to beautiful Mauldin High School, your facility, and run a scout day, and we're able to see a bunch of those young guys you were talking about. Kind of talk a little bit about the experience. I know for us, running through the high school scout days, it brings a little added excitement. A lot of the times you see some of these, the high school, the traditional or the regular traditional scout days with the teams is a little bit different, but with the high schools had a little added excitement. Kind of talks a little bit about the experience that your guys had at that day.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was big for me to kind of see my younger guys at a more competitive environment. Just being, getting guys out there in a showcase environment, kind of see how they perform on another level of a stage, I guess, other than playing against somebody else. I'm having different eyes on them, kind of let me know, what I have, and getting metrics and stuff on guys, especially as freshmen, to be able to compare those to year on, next year and the year after that. It's very beneficial to be able to host it. But, for me, as an old college coach, I mean, guys love the Twitter right now, or the X, whatever you're calling it. And, y'all flooding I know everybody's seen it on, flooding X every single day of that event. I mean, it was nothing but beneficial for us. And, already had guys on campus and on campuses from that event. For me, a lot of our seniors didn't do it, but a lot of our younger guys got to, and I think it just gives us exposure just for, the whole entire program, which, like I said, to have 25 guys sign up in our program to do it, I thought it was a huge success all around.
100%. And that was something we talked about. We had the Daniel High School coach on here a couple of days ago. He was the other one with the scout day, and we were comparing yours to his, and just talking about he had a lot of guys from all different age groups and things like that. But with your group, like you're saying, we had a lot of young guys and being able to see guys that otherwise we may not have been able to see. If they're playing junior JV or some other than varsity, we're not going to have a chance to see them. So it was definitely a pleasure for me and Sammy to get out there and take a look at a lot of your entire group, but a lot of your young guys too. So we'll definitely keep that kind of tucked away for a few years to come, as we'll see how the Mauldin Mavs continue to progress. But jumping into some of your guys looking forward into this year, who are some returners from last year's team that you're looking forward to making some contributions this year?
Yeah, for me as a pitching guy, pretty fired up to what I inherited. Whenever you get a lefty that's 88, 91, and Cooker going to College of Charleston, and then obviously you get Brennan New, going to Arkansas. You immediately get thrown up there, but we got really good, exciting seniors that maybe are kind of underlooked, like Daniel Zalesnik, lefty. I think he was at one of y'all's events you saw. Jacob Howell's a fifth year varsity player. Will be a fifth year varsity player this year. And you got Danny Espino, senior, hitting the top 4 last year. Just some exciting guys that kind of get overlooked because we kind of got some star heavy guys at the top that, but mix in a Tucker Rice as a junior, big innings as a sophomore last year out of the pen. He had a big scout day at our scout day here. But we got some exciting guys that I think, if we can get them to buy into their role for this team, I think we got a really good shot.
Oh, got it wrong there. Coach, talk about you talked about your returners here. What about some newcomers, some underclassmen or transfers you guys have gotten in that are going to contribute?
Yeah, so just guys that were in the program last year, that are newcomers or guys that maybe didn't play a lot last year. CJ Edwards was on varsity as a freshman. Wouldn't say he played a ton, but this year probably have more of a bigger role, hopefully, if he can get healthy from a football injury. But we got Caleb Neal that could come in on the mound and help us in spots. Patrick Vaughn, same. He's he could be a role guy in the outfield or on the mound as well. And then we got a little fiery, 5'7" Tate Hawkins from the left side to come in and get us some innings as well. So excited to see what those guys do. See if they can run with their opportunities that they get. But on the mound, hopefully, if everything goes as planned, we're only going to need this bullpen guys. If our horses do what they're supposed to do.
Now leading into that, and we were talking about it, kind of joking around with you when we were up there for the scout day. We're joking about it's time to buy some stock with Mauldin right now, especially with them 2 horses and right with the 2 region games a day or a week going on up there. Talk about a little expectations, right? I know that's a little bit of some buzzwords that go out there. What are some expectations you have for your club heading into this upcoming spring?
Yeah, for us is what I've been preaching every single day is I just want guys to show up every day. I think a lot of, especially at the high school level, a lot of guys only want to clock in whenever it's important for them instead of clocking in every single day. And trying to do that, luckily getting a 4th period baseball class helps, getting eyes on the guys every single day, making sure we're doing what we're supposed to do in the weight room and, on the field. But, we talk about it and having 9 seniors, we want to win the region, want to be above 500. I thought last year, I'm not going to, I talked to them in the meeting and maybe I was a little harsh, but, to be sub 500 and win a playoff series is great, but I want to kind of dominate and do what we're supposed to do. Guys there's a lot of expectations, but sometimes talent gets in the way, and maybe thinks guys are better than they are or don't want to do what they're supposed to or called to do for the team. So if we can get guys to get out of their own way and help this team how they're supposed to, help us, I think we got a really good shot. But my goal for us is, you obviously want to win region, want to win state, but I told the guys in the meeting I want to make that Mauldin M mean something across the state. And every time I see a Lexington L, I think of Lexington baseball, and Coach Hucks deserved that. And I got an opportunity to play for Coach Hucks on his travel team one year, and he's been a guy that I've called over the past few months to mentor, and he's earned that right. And I want to be a guy that's right behind him, right? Hall of Famer. And why not talk to the guys that know what they're doing and got it going on the right track? And that's a guy that that's what I want to do. I want to make guys earn that right. You obviously, I want guys when they see Mauldin to think Mauldin baseball. And every time they walk around with that shirt on, it means something to them. And I want guys to take pride in everything they do, wearing Mauldin stuff.
Coach, thinking about that scout day, I mean, I remember what time we were out there, Samuel, like probably 6 o'clock or so. And that sun was brutal coming out of the batter's eye there. So I wanted to check in. I remember you said you had your Fall World Series coming up. I was wondering if you kind of, played the time correct, made sure that those guys could see out there. Cause all I'm thinking is come the spring, you've got Ethan Cooker out there throwing upper 80s, low 90s from the left side, and Brennan New throwing mid 90s with that sun blaring in your eyes. Like that's not going to be fun for hitters. So I was just wondering how that batter's eye coming on. We got to get Winthrop stuff out there. Am I right?
I'm telling you, I think I'm gonna have to start a fundraiser to get a batter's eye built. But actually, we had to have a sun delay. Believe it or not, we had a freshman. We had Nick Macaluso, freshman back there, and man, I felt bad for him because the sun was beating in. He was missing balls that he doesn't usually miss, and we ended up pausing the game just because I didn't want to get nobody hurt and have fans there to watch me just absolutely abuse this freshman by the sun. But that's one way. I believe it was Team Brown scored 2 runs, or Team Orange scored 2 runs because he missed 2 balls because of the sun, and it ended up being a 10 inning baseball game, and Team Brown ended up coming back and walking it off. But we had a good Fall World Series after the sun delay.
Good, yeah. That's gonna be tough come spring for hitters out there, but you'll have the arms to shove it down their throats anyway. But Coach, we appreciate you hopping on with us, and obviously having us out there get to see your guys at the Scout Day. But best of luck going in to next year, and hopefully we'll see you down the road. All right.
Absolutely, appreciate everything y'all do for high school baseball, man. Giving these kids exposure whenever maybe some kids can't have the ability to do some of the things on the weekends that they need to do. It's big for those guys.